What's going on, guys? Zuko back with another Shadowlands video. Should I just make all my intros slower over time? Like, I start off really quick, and then, like, every video it gets, like, 1 second, 1 millisecond, one couple milliseconds slower, and then, like, eventually I'm just like, what's up, guys? Okay, I won't do that. It's fine. Get a coffee, sit back, relax, let's get into it. Here we go. So, listen, we're on sort of a heroic. I just saw heroic down here. We're on a Mythic Plus sort of journey right now, and I'm very excited about it. Chill. I'm very excited about it, and it's been going very well. We did a 19 miss yesterday. I did a 17 something, 17 theater yesterday, 18 sanguine, 19 missed yesterday. I'm going to talk about the 18 sanguine depths today. That's the video, but I will do one on the 19. But, like, it's awesome. I'm really enjoying getting into the higher end Mythic Plus and, like, talking strategy, communicating with the other people, being like, okay, I need to make sure that I'm doing this. I need to make sure I'm kicking here, stunning here. There's moments where, like, I'm not doing anywhere near as much damage as maybe like a Warlock, but that's okay because I'm doing other jobs and I'm learning how important it is to be doing those jobs and how I can contribute to the team being successful. So it's all those really awesome things. We're really getting there. And I'm loving it, and we're going to keep going. And I want to thank you guys for coming along for the journey because this is just really cool. So let's get into the build that I ran for this 18 Sanguine Depths. We ran Witch Doctor Wolfbones in a dungeon as Night Fae. Now, this is Tyrannical Week. Excuse me. This is Tyrannical Week, so my emphasis on my character in all the dungeons I've run basically has been running something like Night Fae with Witch Doctor Wolfbones as an opener because I want to focus on single target tyrannical boss damage. That's what I want to do. I want to kick the bosses in the teeth. And when it comes to AoE, I'm going to do like okay AoE, like 18 to 20k maybe on most packs. But I'm never going to do the 50k that like a Warlock's going to be doing, or sometimes like, you know, a Windwalker Monk or some of the Warriors are pushing like 50, 60k. So, but that's not the point. The point is that's my job. My job is to come in and sort of be that specialist. I'm kicking. I'm using Cap Totem like crazy. I'm using Earthman when we have a lot of threat going on, a lot of aggro. I'm using Sundering to interrupt abilities. I'm decursing allies. And then I'm doing about 20k on AoE packs. And then I'm doing 13, 14k on single target fights when the other guys are only doing like 8. So that's the specialty of this build. It's Witch Doctor Wolfbones. And we're Night Fae, so we're going to get the crit from Fey Transfusion and the cooldown on the dogs. I did not bring the Storm Strike build into this dungeon because I really did want it to be successful, and I'm just not super comfortable on the Storm Strike build back yet. So the Hot Hand one just makes sense. You can spread your Hot Hand Lashing Flames buff around. Like when you get Hot Hands, you spread Lashing Flames around. Very strong. Still took Hailstorm because Hailstorm plus Chilled to the Core is the craziest combination for generating stacks of Maelstrom weapons. So we took Chilled to the Core and Focus Lightning, and I finally shifted to KORAYN. And I want you guys to talk about this in the comments. Let me know what you think in the comments. Obviously, we took First Strike. That's why you're taking KORAYN for the most part. But he just gives you a damage amp. Like, you're always doing 10% more damage on pull, and then you're always getting this thing as well. Next time you damage an enemy in execute range, you do 5% more damage. So 10% more damage at the top of an enemy's health, 5% more damage at the bottom of an enemy's health, basically. It's really, really strong, actually. The leech here is also really strong. 3% leech is crazy in a dungeon. That's really helpful. And then you're missing a potency because the crit from First Strike is way too strong. Damaging an enemy before they damage you increases your crit by 25%. That just keeps going all the time. Like, First Strike's up a lot. I'm not even sure what my uptime was on it. Let's take a look really quick here. 21%, but again, you got to think about, you know, in Mythic Plus, there's a bit of downtime on running and if you die and stuff like that, but it's really good. You're getting that 5 seconds of crit basically on every single pack that you're doing, and it's very, very strong. So I like KORAYN. I think it's good. I think it's better than Dreamweaver because you're moving a lot in a dungeon. You're not always standing near the haste buff. Dreamweaver's fine, but I think KORAYN is better. Excuse me. So we ran Chill to the Core, Focus Lightning, and that's all we could run because we had First Strike. So that's our build. That's our build right there. Let's move forward into the dungeon. Let me get this VOD over here. Where are my notes? They're over there. Good, good, good. Switch over. So let me take a drink here. Oh, this is after. Let's go back to 1855. This is where the opener kind of is. We'll just start in the opener. You can watch the opening couple packs. Let me take a drink here. Close one. All right, let's get this. Fatum, let's get it.
I have no idea what I'm doing.
There's a lot of things I want to show in this video. I want to talk about single target damage on bosses. I'm going to talk about decursing as well. I'm going to have a frost shock discussion. How to use it now. Your kicks on sanguine weeks plus the kick for enhancement shaman, very important. And that's some of the main things I want to cover. I feel like we're out of my element here. So of course he's going to pull both. I think we do have a Venther. I think it's, I forget who it is, but I think it's somebody. So our AoE damage is not going to be as strong here. We're already up to 20k, but they're going to surpass us here, and that's okay. You need to understand that that's okay. We are running a Tyrannical boss-focused build. That's what we're doing. Fatum's just popping off, doing awesome damage. He's figuring out the Frost Mage stuff. It's just looking great here. And the DH is, of course, doing lots. We're doing 28k, by the way. So like I said, it's not that there isn't any damage here. But you're going to see, I think, in the next pack that Fatum, like, pops right off. Which is cool. But we did 26, 28k there.
That was really clean.
That's really great. Now watch Fatum here. I think he just absolutely explodes. He's all ramped up from his mage thing, right? Bearno subscribe there. Thank you, Bearno, for that once again. Here comes Fatum. I'm doing, look at, watch this. I'm doing like, watch this damage. I'm doing like 16, 20k here in a second. Okay, 12, up to 16k for me, I think, in a minute. There we go. He just goes boom, boom, 37. 36, 38, 39, 42, 45, 47. He just goes
subscribe.
crazy.
Thank you, Bearno.
Look at Fatum. Absolutely demolishing. So this is what I'm talking about in relation to Enhancement Shaman, is that Fatum, you know, on the mage, he's going to be popping off like this. There's going to be AoE classes that are doing better than you. You will recoup that damage on bosses. You're going to catch up. You're going to just really be able to slap bosses so hard with this build. So I just wanted to see it. We still are doing 25k right now. Look, we're doing 24k. It does AoE damage. It can do AoE damage. It's not horrific. It's just that you're changing your focus a little bit, and that's okay. Let's move forward. Let me move this over here. Oh, sorry. I don't know why it's so orange right now. That's my bad. Let me actually see if I can just change that really quick for you guys. It seems pretty orange. There we go. That's a little better, eh? There we go. Okay. So we move forward. Let's go to 2230. A little bit more AoE here. 15k. I didn't take KORAYN because I'm stupid. That's the main reason. That was
really
in the last
no other
dungeon.
reason, actually.
People were asking why I hadn't taken KORAYN
I'm
in
gonna
the
try and
previous
make up
one.
a
Running him right now.
Really, what it is.
This is
I was just like trying to figure out the new build and wasn't thinking about Soulbind stuff.
so. You are correct. KORAYN is definitely better. I'm actually running him right now. I'm running KORAYN right now with this build. I pivoted a bit though because we're doing an 18. Here's our
I
AoE
really
damage
didn't want to
again.
screw it up. I want this to go well. So I'm running Witch Doctor Wolfbones as Night Fae. Oh god, we're really close.
So again, you can see the other guys are going to beat us here. We're like 3-4k behind, but we're still doing respectable AoE damage. Don't worry about it at all, guys. It's perfectly
Playing
fine.
this good. Saving us time.
Here's the boss fight. So this is kind of the challenge for us here, is how well are we going to do on the boss fight? And I think, you know, we end up doing just fine. So this is where you're going to help your team to catch up on overall damage, right?
Good shit.
We pop Lust. I have dogs
Kill
up.
her, right? Kill her, kill her, kill her.
I'm killing her, I think. I need to cast my dogs. Even with the extra indicator, I'm not
Oh god, here we go.
Here
I'm
we go.
popping off. Here we go.
We let Hungering Drain go off there. I don't know why. Did we just let him full channel that? He basically full channeled Hungering. So Fatum's going crazy, which is awesome. Really good to see that damage from him. He's just absolutely slapping. We're sitting at about 17k.
Dude. What is happening?
Mine didn't reset after the last pack, so it looks slow to me.
Pop something. Well,
What
get
am I
ready.
at?
You're at 18k. You're killing it. You were at like 23k a minute ago.
So
I'm
really,
just
you're
behind you by a couple k.
you're just waiting for hot hand procs. I'll say once again that the damage profile,
Actually, at all.
the damage profile for the hot hand version of this build is way better than the Storm Strike version of this build. I talked yesterday in my video. I ran a Night Fae build with a Storm Strike focus. Witch Doctor Wolfbones with a Storm Strike focus. So, like, you're hoping to get Storm Strike dogs, but, like, you're all in on Storm Strike damage, whereas with this build, you're kind of diversifying your damage. You have a lot of damage into Lava Lash because of Hot Hands, but then if you get a bunch of Storm Strike dogs, you can still press Storm Strike a bunch of times. But if you get Fire dogs and you get a Hot Hand proc, then you're doing, like, giga damage. So, it's a better damage damage profile overall there. Oh, sorry, I skipped ahead. Yeah, definitely. Use it. I'll heal you. Hold on. So here we go. We're all doing pretty good damage on the boss fight. It's not awful. I think I've done better damage as Necrolord.
We need the damage for sure.
But it's still fine. It's still good. It's still good damage. We do end up in first here, I think. By the end of it. Oh, yeah, Fatum's just ahead of us. We're all fighting for first. Look at that. We're all the exact same. It's crazy.
Nice. I'm glad we didn't have to deal with that. 10.8. You were at first. That was sick.
Oh, good shit.
So that's it. It's good. We're doing good damage. We got a big AoE pack here. I pop Rocky.
That was awesome, man.
I pop Earth Elemental on this pack every single time because there's just a lot. Usually people pull both packs and he didn't, which is fine. But Sanguine can be kind of annoying if you pull both packs. You got to be careful with Sanguine. Look at Fatum's damage again.
35k? Hello?
He's just crushing it.
What are you doing over there?
This is a wacky build.
He's just
We
doing a lot of
figured
damage.
it out, man.
Which was
You've
super,
unlocked
super
it.
cool.
This is insane.
Let's move ahead here.
You just special.
There's, of course,
Baron. So many stacks of Maelstrom weapons so quick. I'm just going to say Bairno.
we're going to have the Frost Shock discussion, the Hailstorm Frost Shock discussion right now. Listen to my past self.
Basically, at this point in the expansion, we generate so many stacks of Maelstrom weapons so quickly that you don't need to use every Frost Shock after every spender. You understand what I mean? So, like, if you want to play it ideally, you should be doing a Frost Shock after every spender. And then you should wait to get your next, like, spender, and then you use it, and then you use Frost Shock. We get too many spenders now. I'm getting, like, at least 2 spenders per Frost Shock. Okay? I'm doing 2 Chain Lightnings per 1 Frost Shock Hailstorm buff. And it's doing lots of damage. So
I will say that is, like, mostly true. I think I could be playing it a little bit better. Like, I think there's an opportunity here for me to be playing better and to be trying to only use 1 spender per Frost Shock. Because you want to use 1 spender like Chain Lightning, which then gets you the Hailstorm buff, and then you press Frost Shock and it consumes your Hailstorm buff, making your Frost Shock cleave and reduce the cooldown of your dogs because of the Children of the Core Conduit. All that synergy, right? But at this point in the expansion, like I'm saying, with the Witch Doctor Wolfbones build, you have so many, and the tier set bonus, right? You have so many wolves out at a time that you're just generating way too many stacks of Maelstrom weapon to be able to just do a 1-to-1 ratio where you do 1 Chain Lightning to 1 Frost Shock. It just doesn't really work out that way. You cast your 1 Chain Lightning and then your Frost Shock, and then you have 10 stacks of Maelstrom weapon, like, ready to go right away. I'm serious. It's that fast. So overall in this dungeon, we generated like 4.2 thousand, I think, stack. 4,273 stacks of Maelstrom weapon. Like, in a 36... Can we get the calculator out? How do I do this? Calculator. Let's figure this out. 36 minutes times 60 seconds. Okay. So it's 4273 divided by 2160. 4273 divided by 2160. So we were generating two Maelstrom weapon stacks per second. Per second in this dungeon. That's how fast we're going. So this idea that, you know, you want to be really efficient, that's true. You want to be efficient. You want to spend 1 spender and then use Frost Shock. But, like, oftentimes with Lust or just in big packs of mobs like this, you're generating so many stacks between Crash Lightning and Frost Shock that you can use 2 spenders for every Frost Shock, and it's fine.
It's not a big deal.
It's not a big deal. It's just not.
I wouldn't worry, like, stress over the optimization of it. You just want to make sure that you're hitting some juicy ones.
Okay, let me move forward here.
I don't know, this feels less intrusive to me.
Watch this Decurse here. I'm always going to say this in this dungeon. This is a really good dungeon for shamans because you can decurse your allies. Watch the mage here. Fatum gets cursed in about 3 seconds here.
You're doing 20k again. Like, every pack. You're just doing it. That's crazy.
Oh, we use our thing here. Here it comes. Curse of Suppression. This is going to happen. You're going to see it on Fatum's raid frame right here. He gets cursed. And I'm ready for it. I got my cursor over here, and I see that the curse is on him, and I just jump down and clean it. So
I got it off you.
I did it like right away because I knew it was coming, and I knew we weren't going to be able to kick it. So that's what you need to be doing. That's really important in this dungeon. Help your friends. Otherwise, their damage is going to go way down. I want Fatum to do as much damage as possible here because he's absolutely crushing the meters most of the time. In all these AoE packs, he's doing tons of damage. So we want to make sure he can continue to do that. So let's go to 30-45. An important moment right here. Sanguine. It's Sanguine this week. You need to kick casters that are standing in Sanguine. You have the best kick in the game. It's ranged. You just use it. I tab target really quickly to this oppressor. You're going to see in a second. This one oppressor dies. He's dead. Now the second oppressor is standing in Sanguine. This is not good for us. So I use my Spirit Walk to break the chains, and then he starts casting Curse of Suppression, and I'm like, I need to get him out of there. So I do. I tab target, I kick it, and then he starts moving out of the Sanguine. Otherwise, he heals to full.
Man, my kick in this dungeon is so important. It's crazy because of Sanguine.
Line is garbage.
Yeah, it's like the Sanguine stuff is like, oh my god, it's so important.
It's just really important for that kind of stuff because it'll slow your dungeon down so much if you're not doing that kind of stuff. Like, you know, there's all kinds of tools that you have. Like Guardian Druids usually run the Boomkin affinity, and they can like push things. You can push stuff at a Sanguine. That's so helpful. Elemental Shaman has Thunderstorm, which knocks people out of Sanguine. There's a lot of things that you can do, but as an enhancement Shaman, this is one of your best tools. You just kick the casters that are standing in Sanguine, and your team will be very happy. Let's move forward. We want to go to Tarvold, 3710. Let's go there.
I'm gonna alternate between that and Stormstrike.
We went the opposite direction that I usually go when we're doing Tarvold. Tarvold has 2 ways you can go. I almost always go left, and we went right this time. So, like, my directions were completely screwed. Like, I don't even understand this fight, basically. This fight's really hard, though. First of all, you can decurse people if they get hit by the puddle. I decurse Fatum. That guy, yeah. This is just a really healing, intensive fight.
So much damage. Holy crap.
This is Tyrannical, so this guy's, like, really, really hard. I'm on the wrong side because my brain is flipped because I'm used to doing it the other way. So I'll get used to it here. But everybody was kind of in a tough spot. I get the castigation. I run out and heal my... I think I just stayed in dog form for the
Do we lust here?
damage reduction.
Oh.
I forgot to lust. My brain's just a mess, but we do end up lusting.
Okay. I wasn't even settled.
It's actually a better lust for us.
No, Saturday.
The healer does go down here, but that's okay. He's got seed. He ends up coming back. It's okay. The extra off healing from Fate Transfusion is actually pretty helpful on this fight. Same with like a Chain Harvest build would be really, really good on this fight.
This druid's just going crazy with the healing. Like, it's nuts.
Like in a good way?
Yeah. Just this boss is like 100% a healer check. It's so
Sorry,
crazy.
just typing. Yep. So
They just have to out heal everything.
that's exactly right. This boss fight essentially is just down to a healer check. He does so much damage on Tyrannical, it's crazy. And your DPS just need to pump as
I'll
hard
heal
as they
you,
can.
Like, dying cooldowns?
So I heal this guy. Use your extra healing. Help your healer out. Whatever you got to do to keep people alive. Keep people alive, and they will do damage. We're doing 12k though, pretty strong, considering the fact that we've like had to run out and do mechanics and heal people. It's
okay.
good damage.
We got him.
We end up getting him anyways. But this is a tough fight. It takes
Nice
a lot of
block.
coordination.
That was huge.
It takes a lot of
block.
coordination for sure. Sorry guys, let me move my notes back over here.
Yeah, that was awesome.
There we go. Okay, so that's that fight. It is really tough. You just need to have a really good healer, and then
Bear Note, can we just call you Bernie? I'm just kidding. We'll call you.
try to get as much damage out as you possibly can, and make sure you heal your friends. Just help the healer out because it's such an adjustment. Every time that Castigate comes out, just blasts somebody. That's a really difficult thing. So there you go. Then we pull to Beryllia.
You'll get him back.
Here comes the Beryllia boss fight. This is by far the hardest boss fight on Tyrannical in this dungeon. It's not even close. This one just absolutely blasts. It's just does so much damage. So you're gonna see we actually die right here. I'm gonna skip ahead a little bit. This part right here where she does her Rite of Supremacy, like 3 of us die, I think. Yeah, 2 people died. So on Tyrannical, this does so much extra damage. Let me explain these orbs really quickly. All the glowing orbs that you have to pick up, they reduce the damage of the ability that she does by 20%. So if you pick up 5 orbs, you are invincible. You are invincible. Generally speaking, it's most common to pick up 4 orbs so that you take 20% of the damage instead of the full amount. You reduce the damage by 80%. 20% per orb times 4 is 80, right? So you want to pick up at least 4 orbs, or pick up like 3 orbs and pop a defensive or whatever. You have to mix and match. So we end up dying, but we have this guy, so the tank just kites him around.
We're just holding it.
And we're just waiting. We're just waiting for everybody to run back. So everybody does. It's kind of cool. They run back here. The druid reses, and we go again, and we actually get her down this time. So we kill right away, and then we kill again. So we have double buff for this fight. Kind of cool. But again, the Rite of Supremacy is going to come out right here, and we need to be doing damage. So I have my Fate Transfusion. I just did Fate Transfusion, so I'm ready with a big heal. But I need to go get a DR here. 1, 2. I think the druid dies again. We weren't really organized in our positioning, and that will kill you on this boss fight. You really do need to say, okay, you're going to that quadrant, you're going to this quadrant, you're going over here. Pick a place to go, or else you're going to overlap like this, and your druid is going to die again. So he was kind of pissed about that, but it's Fatum had a battle res, which was fantastic. He ran over and did engineering.
Sure. Well, okay. I mean, maybe I stole his stuff. I don't know.
Here comes the next Rite of Supremacy. Now I'm watching. I'm watching very carefully. Fatum tells me that he's going to ice block. This is really huge communication. This is the kind of stuff you can use. Different classes have different flavors, like Paladins could bubble here. Mages can ice block. He's a Frost Mage, so he has 2 ice blocks. It's huge on this fight. So I go steal Fatum's orbs because he's ice blocking. Then I'm fine. The healer actually lives.
Yeah.
And we continue to do damage.
Figure that out, you know?
This boss fight is really hard because your uptime on the boss is like 0. You're spending all this time running around picking up orbs, and then you're running away from swirlies.
You gotta basically pick a quadrant. You can't like
and then you have like 10 seconds to do damage, and then you have to go do it again. So you have to have a really good, like, any kind of burst damage is really strong, that you can just get as much burst out in like a 10-second window as possible. This would be like a good Doomwind spot. But it is just rinse and repeat. Rite of Supremacy comes out again. I get 1, 2, 3, and then I stay in Ghost Wolf form. Look at this ticking up. 2, 3 stacks, 4 stacks of my Ghost Wolf thing. That's 20% damage reduction. 20% damage reduction being in Ghost Wolf form. And I got 3 orbs, which is 60% damage reduction. So I'm basically sitting at 80%. And then I stay in. If I got out of Ghost Wolf form, I would have died. So I was being really careful there, probably too careful, but that's something that you can think about. Anyway, this keeps happening. Just remember that you need to do this properly. This one, I think I almost die because I was trying to let other people pick up orbs. Look at my health. Very close.
Oh, that was really close. This, I think we get the dungeon.
So we do end up killing her here.
Are they good?
Last one that we do, and she dies. Very, very tough fight on Tyrannical.
That fight's crazy on Tyrannical.
To have a strategy. You need to know what you're doing and coordinate with your team to help out. Let's skip to the last boss.
Yeah, I got my 4-piece. I'm super happy. Thanks, buddy. Yeah, that healer, that's a tough fight for the healer.
Here's General Kaal. So I skipped the gauntlet. There's nothing really special happens on the gauntlet, but you can see that Beryllia fight is really hard. You need to coordinate really well with your group. Here comes the last fight. We have Lust. We have everything. We get Lust and Automa. We're just blasting damage. I get a hot hand proc, but I have to run out for a mechanic. Kyrxis was telling me on this fight that you can skip, you can dash away from that ability, the bleed she puts on you. which is fine. I could have done it with my Fey transfusion. I was just, or my Fey, like the blink.
Tatum, I think it's looking good.
But I was just focused on doing damage.
I think we're professional Mythic Plus people now.
So we're doing almost
It's
15k
4K on Storm Rage. Okay, interesting.
We're doing almost 15k here. Nothing really special to say on this fight. It's just very long. You need to get her to 50% health. So, well, I'm just gonna skip past to the end, and we'll see how much damage we kind of did. Forget exactly when this ends. I end up dying because I had a really... So we got 7 rating there, and that was the 18 that we finished right there. So
I love how we have to watch that ending every single time.
might be surprising, but we actually had the most DPS overall, 13.3 overall. Let's jump back to the gameplay really quick, and let's look at how we did. So 13.3k overall. What are we looking at here? Flame Shock, Chain Lightning, Frost Shock, Lava Lash, of course, because we're doing a fire-focused build. The Lashing Flames debuff that you put on enemies makes your Flame Shocks do double damage. So, and then the Wolves are up there too. So this build works. Honestly, it works fine. I think that my wolf uptime could go up. I only had 63%. That could have been more like 70%, maybe 75%. So I got to work on that. But this build works. Witch Doctor Wolfbones, my conclusion is that Witch Doctor Wolfbones works in dungeons. I don't know if Night Phase is the best choice, but on Tyrannical weeks, it felt really good to me. It felt like I was able to really help my team out by pushing extra damage into the bosses to have that extra like single target profile. But I actually think you could run Witch Doctor Wolfbones with Necrolord, and it's probably just better. The Cleaving Lightning Bolts, the haste buffs are really, really good. I think it's probably just better. So I'm going to probably continue to do that in the near future. So that's the build. That was our 18 Sanguine Depths. I did do a 19 miss. I'll talk about that in another video. I'm going to keep climbing, guys. So if you want to come on the journey with me on the Mythic Plus journey that we're trying to climb to at least doing 20s overall on all the different dungeons, then stick around at the channel and keep watching because we're going to keep doing that. So thank you so much for watching. If you want to drop a like down below, I'd really appreciate it. If you haven't subscribed yet, get down there and hit that button or I will haunt your dreams. Okay? Okay. Until the next one, guys, we'll see you later.